Well, hello YouTube. Petey Two Finger here with a bit of rock and roll memorabilia, a bit of history for you. My wife found this in the kids' closet. This is the Barbie doll that was burnt on stage during Helter Skelter. When, how old was Shrimpy?
6.
Our daughter was 6, and this was the...
Oh wait, she was 5.
5. This was the second or third iteration of the family band. We started out playing Barney, Mother Goose stuff, but we played it aggressively with distorted guitars and more of a rock and roll style. And so it was my wife on bass. I played guitar, and our daughter, who was just turned 4 at the time of our first gig, was fronting the band. So we did a CD. I guess I'll put some of that up here. There's a documentary called "The Story of Shrimpy and the Peas," and in that there's some live music. I believe this performance, we had a flyer and it said in order to get into the show you had to bring a Barbie doll for a needy child. And that was her. She was going to get all of the Barbies. So she was going to sacrifice one of her Barbie dolls for many. Didn't want to burn the clothes, so I spray painted the outfit on her. Amputated the feet. I had a board with a couple of holes drilled in it as a stand for Barbie. So there's a point in Helter Skelter where it drops down. Hey, Helter Skelter! What a coincidence. I'm just watching all this Charles Manson stuff, finding out that he was CIA, because I always thought he was. Now it's kind of come out in a book that shows some in between, like, if you look in between the lines, there's pretty much indisputable proof. Anyway, the music in Helter Skelter in our version would die down, and then about a minute later it would come back up. And so in that silence, this Barbie was placed down in front of the stage, and my daughter Shrimpy, she had big gold Elvis sunglasses on and a black jumpsuit, pulls out a bottle of Ronson lighter fluid, hoses down the Barbie doll, and then I light it on fire. And flames are leaping up off the Barbie, and my daughter's doing the like Hendrix, like summoning the flames. This Barbie doll, bow, 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 bow. And you hear we've got film of it. You hear half of the crowd is like, "Oh my goodness, no!" And then the other half of the crowd's like, "Hey, fire, yes, rock and roll." So it was one of those line in the sand moment where a percentage of the people got it, and a percentage of the people it was too much. And that is what rock and roll is all about. So I give you the Helter Skelter Shrimpy and the Peas Barbie doll. This is, her hair is burnt. If you watch the video, you can see Shrimpy. She really didn't want to burn this doll. It was gifted to us. My daughter was obsessed in the Westbrook Market bag. My daughter was obsessed with Barbies. She had way more than she needed. She had the dream house, which we got new. It was $125 for the dream house. she had this thing, she wanted all of the Barbie stuff, she used to talk like that, in the world. That was her thing, and we got this one from a friend of my brother's, donated some toys to us.
Used from his kids. Yeah.
Used,
Not
and
what
I
brand new.
picked it out as the one we were going to burn, and it was a thing with my wife was like, no, she didn't want to do it. Shrimpy didn't want to do it. And I'm like, we're doing this. Like, this is, you're going to get, you sacrifice one Barbie and you get a bunch more. But she just couldn't get over that. She couldn't let that one go, you know? And we did it. There's footage of it. I have really fond memories of those shows. Apart from stuff like my old singer was there, supposed to film, and he hit pause and missed the whole set and then film again. So we have the beginning, right up to when we start playing, and then so we're missing a whole huge chunk of one show. Another show, he showed up 4 hours late, and the whole family was here, waiting on the lawn for hours. And he showed up drunk. He was bringing a mic. I didn't have a mic. My mic fed back a little bit, and she was going to be roaming around the stage, and I needed this mic from him. And he showed up with a date 4 hours late. And he was all smiling. I ran up to the car. I give me the fucking mic. I was so mad at him. My niece died of brain tumor, and she was there along with my nephew. They never got to see their cousin perform because this guy did a pregame and had to get liquored up to the right amount to drive 15 minutes to my house to bring this mic. And I will never forgive him for that. That's unforgivable, you know, because he never showed up, ever, once on time. It was always many hours late or not at all. And I kept calling him and telling him, and he kept reassuring me I'm going to show up. And then the other thing, now that I'm on my horse, was my brother and his family standing right next to the camera where we film, mocking us the entire time. Talking shit about the band, talking shit about my daughter, giggling and talking about how much they hated every one of our songs. So there's a bunch of that footage that's either spoiled, sabotage. They wrecked a few whole shows. And then stuff where I had to edit them out of it, where only a little bit of the show exists because they stood right next to the camera and talked shit the whole time. So the next time we played, I wrote out a manifesto and had my wife go out and read it on the mic. If you're going to stand and talk shit about us, go home. Don't, you know, we don't, what you're saying picks up on the camera louder than the band if you're going to stand right next to the camera and talk the entire time, which they did. They were laughing and giggling and just carrying on right on the mic. So that maybe this could be helpful to you, anybody watching this. If you're at an event where, like, it's a little kid's birthday and parents are filming, the kid opened the presents, don't talk. Because every one of the tapes that we have from all of our parties, all you hear is that same brother of mine running his mouth the entire time. And then when my other brother's son, if it's his birthday, my brother will not talk. He's respectful when it's a boy, but the girls are garbage. That's what he says G stands for. So yeah, when you hear me talking about I take issue with my brother, that's the tip of the iceberg. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my wife, okay. I hope you enjoyed the Helter Skelter Burnt Barbie. Always remember to try to be nice, right? Is it that hard to remember to, like if there's somebody's rolling tape and they've prepared, they've practiced for months, save your banter for when you're away from the microphone. If you're going to want to talk through the entire show, don't do that right next to the camera. Which, it had to be on purpose. It had to be. It's multiple shows that they ruined by standing right next to the camera. And I can hear them all laughing, saying, "Oh, I really hate this song." Stuff like that, you know. So it's not necessarily me being paranoid or, you know. I get a lot of comments like, "Oh, don't take it so seriously when if people say they hate you, you know, or attack you." Well, I kind of do. I don't treat other people like that. You know, if I don't like something, I move on. I'm not gonna make a big deal and go and haunt someone in the comment section for years, thumb down every video that they make. You know, so be nice. It's really not that hard to do. It really isn't. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Rock and roll relics and a little lesson in how to be a human being. Peace.